Hey YouTube, Bored Joe here. Uh, this is a story that unfolded over the past 2 weeks for me. I wrote this story. Hopefully, by passing it around, some people will learn some things and something might be done. In grade school and through high school, there was a kid 1 year behind me named Keith. He was a goofy teen who was quick with a funny thing to say, a funny face with his tongue hanging out. He was self-deprecating and chubby, just an average kid who was not much more than an acquaintance in school I shared a laugh or two with. Not much more. Facebook connects people through time and distance. I became friends with Keith on Facebook and really did nothing more as far as communicating with him. His posts revolved around the usual Facebook fare. Dinner was good, but my beer is better. My ex-girlfriend is awful, but my new girlfriend is an angel. And so much for my new girlfriend. I'm swearing off girls until I drink too much next time. He seemed to be an average guy who was quick with a joke or light up his smoke, and that was Keith. His posts on Facebook account stopped the other day after being very consistent. A few days later, R.I.P. Keith was written by a friend of a friend of a friend I don't know or never will know. A few more RIPs and other emotionally packed, nebulous, weepy phrases were posted. A couple days later, someone finally asked, and someone finally answered, what happened? It seems Keith had a medical condition and could not afford insurance. He knew that something was wrong, and he needed to go to the doctor, but the cost of paying out of pocket was too expensive. He had time to go to the doctor, as he discussed this with others, but could not afford it. He died of a heart attack in his sleep at the age of 44. Keith didn't deserve to die. He didn't have the money to be healthy, so Keith died. He's dead. This doesn't happen in other industrialized nations. Other industrialized nations have nationalized health care to some degree, which protects people like Keith from outcomes like Keith's. America stands alone. We're told being denied this medical safety net is freedom. We're told we cannot succumb to the Europeanization of our nation for some reason. If Keith were in Europe or Canada or many other nations, he could have gone to the doctor when he knew something was wrong, and it wouldn't have cost him much, if anything. He would have at least been given a chance at life. Freedom in America apparently denies you life if you don't have the cash to back it up. By definition, freedom is purchased here. We live in the pro-life United States of America, where the gold standard is the fetus until it reaches the air of our world, and at that time it becomes nothing more than the vehicle for corporate profit in healthcare and prisons and education and marketing and so on. We're dollar signs. We're not humans. We're dollars. Ironically, Keith didn't have enough dollars, despite the fact he was nothing more than dollars to corporations. Once they couldn't get anything else out of Keith because he had no more money, the corporations did not see dollar signs anymore, so they cast Keith away, as they do about 45,000 times a year. Keith and the other 45,000 people a year die as they're worthless to corporate America. Fetuses see crowds swarming for them, chanting, "Don't kill babies." These crowds coordinate assassinations of doctors or the bombing of medical centers that are trying to stop pregnant women from dying in a back alley clothes hanger abortion. But Keith didn't see that. He saw no crowds chanting to save his life, nor did he see Congress run back in session during Christmas, as they did during the Terry Schiavo fiasco, to prove their pro-life bona fides in not allowing that decade's brain-dead victim from being finally allowed to rest. No. Keith died in his sleep. He knew he was sick. He was too poor to go to the doctor. And since he really didn't appear to be that sick, the emergency room was not an option. This is the Republican plan. There's no way to state it otherwise. Keith was killed by politics, as this would not happen anywhere else in the industrialized world. Keith is dead, and the Republicans are not fazed. And they continue their policies, and they're proud to do so. They call it freedom. Now multiply this Keith outcome 44,999 times over the past year. In 2013, you'll do this 45,000 times again. In 2014, another 45,000 will die. And every year going forward. Make the circumstances much more and a little less horrific. All those people are still equally dead. Why? Politics. The politics of other nations stops this from happening. The politics of our nation continues this tragedy. I know people who are proud to be politically ignorant or who vote for this political group denying health care to others. Shame on them. Some of them are named Keith. Republicans killed my friend Keith 2 weeks ago.